In this video, you're going to learn how to reconcile your bank accounts in QuickBooks Online. So before you go through this process, be sure that you have your bank statement with you and be sure that your statement has your opening and closing balance on it. The other thing is that you want to be sure that all your transactions have been added to your register, because if they are not added, then you are going to have a tricky time reconciling your account because they're not actually in QuickBooks yet. So in order to reconcile your account, you'll need to open up the reconciliation window. There are two ways to do this. First, you can go to the gear, and then you can come under Tools and go to Reconcile. The second way to do this is go to your bank register and click on the big green Reconcile button. The first step in this process is to choose which account you want to reconcile. You can do that by using the drop-down menu and selecting the account that you want to reconcile. The next step is to look at your statement and ensure that the beginning balance listed here in QuickBooks matches the beginning balance on your statement. If your beginning balance on your statement is different than the beginning balance in QuickBooks, you will not be able to reconcile your accounts. It will be very, very hard for you. If that is the case, go to the troubleshooting section of this document and read about how to troubleshoot. Next, you're going to enter in your ending balance. So this is the ending balance on your bank statement. And finally, you're going to enter in your ending date. So this is the closing date of the bank statement. So we're going to do a reconciliation to October 31st. And now you'll go to Start Reconciling. Now, QuickBooks will try to help you by pre-checking all of the cleared transactions. But obviously, in our case, that did not work because we have a $958 difference. I've unchecked all of the transactions, and now what you'll see here in QuickBooks is you have three options. First, you have all. All means that you can look at all of the transactions only in the time frame that you are reconciling. So we can't see any transactions after October 31st. Then we have deposits. So if you only want to see the deposits, you can filter them by deposits, and then you can also filter it by payments, aka debits. This is helpful if your bank statement is divided by deposits and expenses. We're going to come back here during all. So the way a traditional reconciliation works is that you take your bank statement and for every item that you see on your bank statement in this QuickBooks reconciliation window, you're going to come here where there's this little circle and you're going to put a check mark next to it. And what you're telling QuickBooks is that every single item here matches your bank statement. So as long as you see it on your bank statement, you can make a check mark. Sometimes we have a lot of transactions and it can be tedious to go through every single transaction and check mark it. So a trick that I like to do is when I first open a reconciliation window, I click here on this circle at the very top and then I say, yes, I want to select all. Now this is the best case scenario. If you select all and your difference is 0 and you get this nice big green check mark, that means that all of your transactions in QuickBooks match your bank statement and you can rejoice and move on with your life by just pressing Finish Now. But what happens if, I'm going to uncheck a few of these, you get a difference? Well, if you get a difference, then you need to go through and first make sure that everything is checked. And this is when you're going to pull out your bank statement and start going one by one through every single transaction and checking each transaction in QuickBooks that matches your bank statement until you get this 0 difference. Now there's more information about how to troubleshoot your reconciliation in the document. So if you're having trouble getting your accounts to reconcile, look through that information. And that's it. Once you have a beautiful green arrow and a 0 difference, all you do is press Finish Now and your accounts are reconciled.